You know, oh, that was my imagination, because that's what you're trained to do when you're young as a child, and you think you experience something, and then the adult in the room tells you, oh, that's your imagination. You're just seeing things. That's not real. That didn't happen. My mom never said those things to me.
Huh.
My mom said, what did you see? What did it look like? What did it feel like? Was it a boy? Was it a girl? Was it a woman? Was it a man? Were they young? Were they old? Were they nice? Were they mean? She asked me questions.
Now,
which was different.
I've gotten all kinds of EVPs on investigations. I've never seen a person spirit. I've seen different things, like when I was at the David Stewart farm in Gettysburg. I seen the Confederate soldiers, because it was a field hospital. I seen them smoking cigarettes. You'd see the little red dot, and it'd get bright and go out and stuff. But I've never actually seen a spirit. So, not necessarily wanting to, because I'm one of those people that I won't go nowhere by myself.
Yeah. You know, I'm the one that they send in first, honestly. I mean, it's funny, because I've been on investigation with, you know, this guy who's like 6'2", 300 pounds, and he's like, you go first.
You go first.
Like, okay. Yeah, I go first. I'm always the one to go first. Because you know, honestly, it's the ghosts don't scare me. The paranormal doesn't scare me. I mean, they can startle me. They definitely have the ability to startle me, but I'm not fearful of them. When I get scared, it's because I think it's a real person.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So if I'm like wandering around in the dark and I think I see somebody, I might get scared, but if it's not a real person, then I'm like relieved. I'm like, oh, okay, it's just a ghost.
Yeah.
We're good.
Wow. So, all right, Barbara.
So even in places like Waverly, which has been known for some rather physical activity in there.
Oh, I love Waverly.
So what was your experiences there?
I had such a great time at Waverly the first time I went that I actually went back with my son and his girlfriend and his best friend. I mean, we made it was like a family vacation for us, to tell you the truth. We're a little strange like that, I guess. I think actually there's more than just ghosts at Waverly. And by that, I mean, I don't even know that everything that's going on at Waverly is within my lane. I think it exceeds things that I know about based on the experiences that I've had there. There's definitely a lot of ghosts there. Absolutely. Good ones. I got some great evidence. I got a picture of a nurse. That you can see that on Facebook too. It's she's on there, and she was actually walking around with me, and it was interesting because we had been there all night, and it was the next morning. The sun is just rising, and you know, I mean, nursing shifts are going to be like your 3 to 11, you know, 11 to 7, 7 to 3, you know, and they you know, they do it in those 8-hour shifts. Well, this would have been right around shift change. And I felt like I was doing rounds. And I'm walking around. I got this nurse walking behind me, and I know she's there. I can feel her. And I mean, I could feel her so strong that I literally took my phone and I was just like, I was taking like selfies, and I was like aiming behind me because she was always behind me. I couldn't get her in front of me. When I turned around, she'd still be behind me. And that's actually how I ultimately ended up catching her. It was over my shoulder. There's actually several spirits in the picture, but she was the most pronounced. And I was expecting, the first time I went to Waverly, I was expecting to get scared. I was cautious because I had heard that there's some negative things going on there that definitely do get very physical. I'm very specific in what I'm willing to interact with. When I go on an investigation, I bring my team with me, my spirit guides. Anybody I communicate with has to go through them to talk to me. And otherwise, I'm not interested. If they're, you got to be approved.
Got your own gatekeepers.
Seriously. And I don't want to communicate with anything negative energy. I just don't. I don't need that kind of negativity. I don't in life either. I don't want to be around negative people. I like to keep it positive, So I think that intent has a lot to do with what you're going to deal with when you go on these investigations. Now, if you're going in there and you want to stir up some demons and you want to raise some hell, then yeah, you can definitely do that at Waverly, and you can deal with the after costs of that because there's going to be repercussions. You know what I mean? Tony's been there as a tour guide for years. Tony's a big man, and he's been thrown around like a rag doll in that place. He has a very healthy respect for the paranormal activity that goes on there. But when I went, I was kind of surprised. I felt so much love. I mean, so much. It was like, it threw me off, I mean, I'm like, I thought I was going to be scared. I thought this was going to be like a kind of a spooky place because of all the negative stuff. And I didn't encounter anything negative there. I could feel a lot of love. I could feel a lot of intention. It was like the nurses that worked there really cared about their patients. There was a lot of love in that place too. And being that I only wanted to experience the positive, that's probably why I did, because that was my intent. I wasn't there to stir up trouble. I went in with respect, and that's how I do it always. I always go in with a lot of respect for those that are there, and if they want to talk to me, I'm in their house. This ain't my house, I mean, I'm trespassing. So, I think that kind of makes a difference. But we did get a lot of good evidence out of that place, both in video. I've got video on Facebook of my hair getting moved while I was laying in one of the morgue trays. Just before it happened, I got the smell of chemical. I'm like, oh, God, can you smell that? I smelled some chemical. It was like formaldehyde,
Right.
And then my hair moved on my shoulder all by itself. EVPs, anomalies in photographs, but there's like, to me, that's like the best place to go. I mean, if you want to have a paranormal experience, definitely go to Waverly Hills. You'll have one. I can't imagine anybody getting out of there. Even a skeptic is going to become a believer in that place. But do go in with good intention. Do go in with respect, because there's another picture on Facebook that you might see where I'm in the death tunnel, and an image appeared on the wall beside me. And honestly, Barbara, it looks like an alien to me. I mean, it doesn't look like anything I've ever seen before.
Really?
You can see the eyes. You can see it's got a long nose, like a giraffe, almost. Like, a giraffe's nose is long and flat. And then there's two big nostrils at the bottom. I don't know what that is. That's what I'm saying. I mean, there's things there that is completely out in my lane. And when I took that picture, we knew something was there. We felt it come up on us. Okay, as we were coming, we went all the way to the end of the tunnel. As we were coming back, we felt like we were being bum rushed from behind, and started taking pictures. And that's what came out. So
would that have been the creeper?
No, we got a great picture of the creeper too, though. Definitely. I mean, I'll have to check and see if that's on Facebook. If it's not, I'll put it on there for you. An amazing picture of the creeper. You can actually, the picture was taken in the dark, still has a shadow on the ground. Nobody could see it there. I mean, if you go to Waverly Hills, that place is clean. There's no debris laying around. There's not garbage on the floor. But you can clearly see, you're going to love this picture. I'll get it on. If it's not on Facebook already, I'll put it on there for you. I'll tag you in it.
All right.
So you can see it.
Now, speaking of the motto, when you leave, you believe, have you ever been to Post Town?
No, I have not been to Post Town yet.
Ooh, that's their motto. If when you leave, you believe, because apparently it's super active in that elementary school.
Yeah, I definitely want to go there.
Yeah, that's
actually one on my list.
That's
Mm-hmm.
about 30 miles from me now. Used to be just
Is
around the
it? See, I'm
corner.
going to have to come up and see you. You got all that good stuff up there.
Oh, there's all kinds of places that I go to around here that has stuff in it. Preble County Historical Society is a good one. So, do you believe that? I know everybody wants to go in the dark to investigate, but isn't the same stuff there during the daytime too?
Yeah, I mean, I understand why some investigators prefer to do it at dark. It's quiet. You've got less noise contamination when you're trying to, gather evidence. And while I think evidence is great fun, I really do, and I totally appreciate and respect it, because I think that's something that they give you. That's a gift to you. If they're going to let you take their picture, that's a gift to you. Respect it. But I have been, and I think it depends on the location too, because you go to like Sloss Furnace, that place is active 24/7. You can collect evidence there during the day. Now, you've got a lot of highway noise at times that you're going to have to deal with more during the day than at night. So I understand wanting to be there at night. But I got a picture of a shadow figure during the day, on a day visit. And most people that have been to that place will tell you it doesn't matter what time of day you go. The spirits are always active. Now, what negates that? I have no idea. No idea, it's just when they, I guess, feel they want to show themselves,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we really catch them. I don't think we sneak up on them and catch them.
No.
I think that they allow us to see them.
Yes. Yeah. And like I say, usually about the only thing that I use on an investigation is my recorder.
Yeah.
I've had cameras and taken pictures and just never actually get anything to me. But the recorder is where I actually get my evidence from. I know a lot of people try to use.
I like the EVPs.
Yeah, they try to use all these gadgets and stuff, but there's so many different things that can be intertwined in those gadgets that you can't really prove it unless you actually get an EVP.
I agree.
So, all right, Barbara, I'm taking all the time again. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. I like to go. I go for the experience. If I don't get a single EVP or a single photo, I'm okay with that as long as I have an experience.
Yeah.
Or if I'm with someone who's never had an experience, I'll ask to skip that experience and I'll ask the spirits to let them have an experience. And that has actually worked, believe it or not. I took a friend over to the lighthouse in St. Augustine and wanted them to have an experience because they hadn't had one. So I did. I asked the spirits, and I'm like, will you please give them a profound experience, one that they can't deny, so that they can, just validate that you are indeed here. I know you're here, but I'll forego my experience if you'll just please touch them. And I'm talking to the spirits telepathically with thought, and sure enough, a little flick on the ear, and my friend was like, I just got touched in the ear. And I'm like, ask them to do it again. And they said, if that was you, do it again. And it happened again. And I'm like, okay, good. Now you're a believer. And that was the end of the story. It's profound, for them because they finally got to have that experience. But to me, that is so fulfilling when you can take a skeptic and turn them into a believer. And then they're like, okay, now I get it. Now I understand what you're talking about,
Wow.
It's more profound, I guess, to watch somebody else get off it. Because for me, it's like I've been touched. I don't understand the whole rage about, I was scratched. Okay, you got a scratch. It's not such a bad thing, is it really?